For more, let's bring in former New Jersey Superior Court judge and host of the Judging Freedom podcast, Judge Andrew Napolitano. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. So, Judge, give us your reaction to this ruling last night.
You know, it's not the way the system is supposed to work, Charla and Rob, when judges are at the center of the democratic process. The voters should be at the center of the democratic process. And Rob, as you just pointed out, the president has not only not been convicted of participating in or supporting or aiding an insurrection, he hasn't even been charged with it. For those who think he's been charged with it on January 6th, he is not. The January 6th charges are not charges of aiding or abetting an insurrection. In fact, Jack Smith, the prosecutor, intentionally did not bring those charges for this reason. So where are we? As of this morning, his name cannot appear on any ballot for a Republican primary in Colorado. If that decision is not disturbed by the Supreme Court of the United States, either because they don't want to hear it or because they're going to uphold it, the ballgame will be over for Donald Trump because other states will do the same thing. That's why it's vital that the Supreme Court of the United States interfere with this decision, put it on hold, review it, and reverse it, and let the voters decide. The Republican voters decide who their nominee will be, and the general voters decide who the president will be. Otherwise, we don't have a democracy.
Yeah, and Joe Biden's America, Judge, due process and Donald Trump don't collide in the same sentence very often, clearly. Do you think the Supreme Court takes this up over the next few days?
Yes, I think the Supreme Court will take it up in the next few days because ballots will soon begin to be printed in early 2024. Ballots are prepared months before the primaries.
Yeah, in Colorado, that date is January the 5th. So the Trump team says they're going to appeal. We expect them to do that. The question is now, does the Supreme Court of the United States actually weigh in on this issue? The same thing could happen in North Carolina and other states. And the fear is, so fine, Colorado's a blue state. If Trump's not on the primary ballot on March 5th, which is Super Tuesday, 16 states vote on Super Tuesday. That might not affect his ability to win the nomination ultimately. But then they could use the same argument to keep him off the ballot on November the 5th if he is in fact the nominee.
Correct. There was a trial in Colorado in which the former president's lawyers participated. I don't know if they took it seriously because the former president was not there and did not testify. But at that trial, which went on for 3 weeks, a Colorado trial judge found that he did participate in and did incite the insurrection, on January 6th. That's grossly unfair to him. But the Colorado Supreme Court upheld those findings and then said, as a matter of law, his name's not going to be on the ballot. So judges are interfering with democracy in Colorado. Judges will preserve democracy, the Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's nothing democratic about what the Colorado Supreme Court did. How concerning is this if the Supreme Court doesn't step in and take this case?
It's highly concerning, Charla, because there will be other states where the judicial system is popularly elected and manifests the anti-Trump attitude that the voters in those states have, and they will move to keep his name off the ballot. Look, he's got to be on the ballot in all 50 states. Whoever's running for the Democrats, whoever's running for the Republicans, and also the minor candidates should be on the ballots in all 50 states, 51 because you can vote in D.C.
Yeah.
Because that's the democratic system. So if the Supreme Court does not get involved, then judges will be deciding who the president of the United States is, and that's not a decision for the judiciary.
No, especially, the 7 judges, so it was a 4-3 decision. So it was close in Colorado. The 7 judges on the state Supreme Court were all appointed by Democrats. So you could make the argument, Judge, that the books were cooked before this thing even got to their desk.
I am sure that Donald Trump will make that argument and will make it effectively. Now, whether or not these 7 justices, there they are, of the Colorado Supreme Court are biased against him because they're Democrats and he's a Republican, I don't know. But Trump will argue that, and that will enhance his popularity, certainly among his Republican base.